Okay, welcome back everyone to Dimitra's Dishes. Today we're making pizza. So we've made the dough, we've let it rest, we put it in the refrigerator, and it fermented overnight, either one night or up to 3 nights, and that's very important. That's a step you don't want to skip. So make sure you have the dough out and it's out at room temperature. Make sure it's not cold, otherwise it's not going to stretch out very easily. You need a little bit of semolina flour or corn flour, and that's for dusting to get it in and out of the oven easily. A little bit of salt, a little olive oil for drizzling on the sauce, a tiny bit of all-purpose flour just to dust this in so it's not sticky, some freshly grated mozzarella cheese, and I like to get the big blocks of cheese from those big the stores that sell bulk items, and it's cheaper that way. It melts beautifully. The shredded mozzarella that comes already shredded in the packages is coated with stuff that you don't want to put on your pizza, and it prevents it from melting really nice and having that stringy nice mozzarella cheese. So it takes a few seconds. All you need is a box grater and the cheese, and then you have it ready. And we've already made the tomato sauce. We're going to start by making the New York style pizza, which is basically cheese, sauce, and cheese, sauce, and dough. Okay, so I'm going to begin by taking one of the dough balls, and the recipe that we made, our dough recipe, makes 3 pizzas. So I tried to cut it in 3 equal balls of dough, and what I'm going to do is I just dusted it in flour once, okay, so to make it not stick, and I'm going to roll it around in my hands like this. Try to get into a circle. And then, so I've never owned a pizzeria, you guys. We don't make pizza at the restaurant, but I've seen it done many times. I've eaten a lot of pizza in my day, and I've watched them do it. So if I can do it, you can do it. So you just kind of press it down. You can put a little more flour on your fingertips if they're sticking. Press it down to open it up a little bit. Just like that. Kind of go around in a circle like that. And then you take it, and using your knuckles, you pull it and you stretch it gently until it's about 12 to 14 inches, as big as you can get it in diameter. And the first one is going to be a little harder to work with than the rest of them, just because it's probably going to be a little cooler and a little colder than the rest of the dough. By the time you get to the third one, you'll be a pro. And trust me, if it's not a perfect circle, that's fine. It's more homemade looking. It'll taste better. It'll be more gourmet looking, so you don't have to get it perfect. As long as you're stretching it out carefully, not to tear it. Now, you don't want to wear bracelets and rings at this point. Take them off and put them on the side. Keep stretching this. Just like this. Keep stretching. Oh. If that happens, that's fine. Let's see what we have here. That looks good to me. So we've made a little bit of a crust border. At this point, you take your peel, and you want to dust it with either the corn flour or the semolina flour. And put this on your peel. And I haven't mentioned that I've already preheated my oven to 550 degrees with the pizza stone already in there. So that's important, and it needs to preheat for a good hour, so that way the oven is very nice and hot. And we try to copy the pizzeria style ovens, and they go up to like 1,000 degrees. So our oven in most ovens in regular homes don't go up to 1,000 degrees, and that's to keep everything safe so the house doesn't burn down. But if you get it up to 550 degrees, you'll get a really high quality pizza. It'll honestly taste like it came from a very good gourmet pizzeria. So now remember, there's no salt in the sauce. I'm going to ladle a little bit of sauce. I like lots of sauce on my pizza. Put as little or as much as you like, and I like to get it all the way even on the edges, on the crust. That way there's a lot of flavor. This is going to rise and it's going to bubble up, so you'll get a little bit of salt. This is why there's no salt in the sauce, and I wait until the end. Okay, so I'm going to ladle a little bit of olive oil over it. And now I'm going to put this in the oven and let it bake for about 8 minutes. And then I'm going to take it out and sprinkle the mozzarella cheese and put it back in until the cheese melts. Okay, so my New York style pizza, which I put in there first, is ready to have the cheese on. If you see it got a beautiful char all around the crust. All I'm going to do is put the mozzarella cheese on there now. Shredded mozzarella. And then I'm going to pop it back into the oven until all of the cheese melts, which should take about 5 more minutes. The last minute of cooking, of melting this cheese, what you can do is you can put your broiler setting on high and keep this on your top rack and let the cheese get like a little bubbly and some specks of brown on it. It'll help it melt even faster and look really beautiful, so we're going to do that. Okay, so we're making our pesto pizza, and pesto pizza is definitely not something that I had growing up as a kid. You know, it's become popular now ever since, you know, gourmet pizzerias have been popping up all over the place, and I've had it here, but I like a lot of pesto and I like a lot of cheese. I don't like little dollops of cheese on my pizza, you guys. So that's why it's so good to make it at home, because you make it how you like to eat it. Okay, so, and it's much, much more economical. So we've already made the pesto sauce. The oven is already preheated, and it preheated with the stones already in there. And that's very, very important, because that's what gives you that really good pizzeria shop quality pizza. Okay, so go on my YouTube channel and find my pesto recipe. It is very, very delicious and simple, very super simple to make. Okay, so you bake, you cook this actually off the pesto and everything on all together. And if you have any leftover chicken, that tastes really good on this pizza as well. But I'm going to put sun-dried tomatoes on mine today. So I'm going to spread this. Okay, I'm going to put some sun-dried tomatoes on here also. Remember, put them underneath the cheese. And I'm not even going to bother chopping them up. You could chop them up. I'm going to put them in whole just like this. And now I'm just going to sprinkle the mozzarella cheese on top. Just like that. And I'm going to let this bake for about 12 minutes or until the cheese is completely melted and the crust is nice and charred and brown. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's all ready. Okay, so we're going to make a Greek style pizza too. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to sprinkle some salt, some olive oil. This is some baby spinach, and you could use whatever toppings you like. If you have mushrooms, if you have any cooked vegetables from the night before, like eggplant, grilled eggplant, or bell peppers, put that on here too. Put some feta cheese. I'm going to crumble it on here. We'll put the whole thing. Lots of chopped up Kalamata olives. Okay, we'll put some mozzarella cheese. And then I like to put the onions on top. I made this for my cooking class last Saturday. We did a pizza party cooking class, and this one was, I think, the class's favorite. The Greek style pizza, it was a big, huge hit. And it's so simple to make, just like this. So I'm going to put it in, I'm going to bake it for about 10-12 minutes until all the cheese is melted. I think I'll sprinkle some oregano on top of this. Pop this in the oven, and I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. Okay, so the pizzas are done. We've made 3 pizzas today. We've made a traditional New York pizza. We've made a Greek style pizza with spinach, not tomatoes, spinach, onions, feta cheese, and olives. And then the pesto pizza with some sun-dried tomatoes inside. If you see how beautiful the crust is, let me cut a slice so I could show you how nice the air bubbles that the yeast have created are. And that's what makes all the difference in a light, airy crust and a dense one. So when you never want to roll it out with a rolling pin. Let me show you. It's falling apart. Look at that. Look at how delicious that is. Go on the website, you guys. Get these recipes. It's www.dimitrasdishes.com. Make these. Get creative. Use your favorite toppings on them. And let me know how everything turns out. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to see pictures. I'll see you next time. Bye.